Brothers, no matter what hobby you're interested in, no matter what media or format or genre, there are going to be content creators that are the most whiny, insufferable, low IQ, backbenching freaks that you could possibly imagine. In this case, we're going to be talking about the Act Man. The Act Man is somebody that I actively don't like. I call him Plastic Lurch because he's a fake, disingenuous scumbag and he is a lumbering buffoon. This is a guy that is wrong about nearly everything when it comes to the injection of far left progressive politics in media. Now, Asmongold and a lot of other content creators can see this for what it is and call it out for what it is, but there are people like the Act Man, Mighty Queef, and Angry Joe that still, after all these years, after the thousands of people that have lost their job and studios that have gone under, games that have been ruined, no matter what happens, these people are still out there trying to gaslight you and telling you, don't believe your lying eyes, don't believe your lying ears. No, believe me. Misrepresenting, distorting, downplaying, exaggerating things that are obvious. When Heels versus Babyface was railing about pronouns, this lumbering imbecile, this plastic retard, was out there making fun of him because he thought at the time that that was the thing that you're supposed to do. Everyone was shitting on him, so that's what you do. But when you are somebody like this guy, who's a fucking coward and a freak, you lob things from behind a mob. You're not an original thinker. You can't think for yourself. Heels versus Babyface comes out there and says something that is objectively true, and every year, rather, more than every year, every week it seems, he is made more and more correct. Wokeness is an infectious poison because it doesn't just affect the end result of the game, although that does happen, but it changes the environment and the culture at a company. So not only is the game immediately made worse, but over time that's going to have an accumulative effect. It's like a debuff that every other debuff expands and makes it even worse. A debuff multiplier. That is what wokeness and progressivism is. In fact, today I was listening to Asmongold. He was talking about DEI and wokeness and how these people are a cancer and they get in there and they start making things worse, but then they can't be fired because they were hired not based on their merit or intelligence or skill or talent. They were chosen based on their gender, based on their race, or based on immutable characteristics that they don't have any control over, but they were selected for those reasons, so they can't be fired at all. Otherwise, there's going to be backlash and they're going to be accused of being racist. So, people like the Act Man will look at a post like this and he'll pretend that wokeness doesn't exist. Guys, this is an over-exaggerated thing. It's not real. Even though thousands of people have lost their job, even though studios have shut down, even though the gaming industry, as it pertains to AAA games, is in the worst place that it's been in a long, long time. Now, gaming itself is fine because you have these independent third parties that are deviating from these toxic, broken, dysfunctional studios that are made worse by HR departments, DEI, this sort of, we need to make the women more unattractive because it's going to offend women and we want to get as big a market as possible, rather than creating a game for a tried and true loyal fan base. They're trying to appeal to everyone, and ironically, they're trying to appeal to everyone by appealing to no one. There is nobody that is inspired or enamored by left-wing progressive politics. But here's the post. Why are there so many remakes and remasters? Can't wait for the Act Man to name absolutely everything except wokeness, which is obviously why this is happening. Which is true. The Act Man is somebody that is uncomfortable saying wokeness because he is a far left progressive coward. He is Plastic Lurch. And it makes all the sense in the world when you listen to this guy's content and realize who and what he is. He responds, I just wanted to say that the reason there are so many remakes And remasters is because of wokeness. The gay communist developers wokeify all of their, like, this is just garbage. You're trying to gaslight people and pretend that the problem doesn't exist, but people know that it exists and they've seen it. So here's what I respond. This is why nobody actually did that really autocorrect respects with results? That's my bad for not double checking that. Yeah. It's not results lurch here. It's respects lurch here. Whatever you want to call it, you lumbering retard. True. There has been an injection of radical left-wing politics not only in games, but in the cultures at these companies. How is it that Asmongold and everyone else can figure it out, but a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal like you still pretends it doesn't exist and that it isn't the problem most people recognize it to be? Yeah, this guy downplays, obfuscates, distracts, says, no, it's not wokeness. Yes, it is. Far left progressive politics are a fucking poison. Not only in the people that promote them, but also in the work that it results from it. And everyone can see this but this guy. And Mighty Queef and Angry Joe and a lot of these other left-wing degenerate low IQ retards. I mean, this guy is so fucking embarrassing, by the way. This guy is such an embarrassment. You know? Yeah, like, it speaks for itself. Yes/no, actually, the remakes and remasters are pure corporate greed, slamming executives and shareholders wanting easy money and the numbers to go up. That is obvious. But we have also seen changes. Yeah, and I was literally just watching Asmongold do a video on a game, was it called Gothic? And yeah, they were making drastic censorship changes to a remake that they said was going to be authentic. Now, why would they do that? Tell me, Lurch. It's bad for business, bad for optics. I mean, they're just putting out remakes to make money, right? So they would do the least effort possible, which would be making it one for one. But no, they're making design changes, costume changes. You fucking retarded freak. You imbecile. How many years has this been going on and you're still too stupid to be honest? And you're playing these games. You are a lumbering retard. It is insane to me. There's anyone still pretending this problem doesn't exist after years of this. It doesn't exist. It's in your head. Are you fucking mad? The evidence is so overwhelming. You would have to be in a fucking cult to not be able to recognize it. There is something that I refer to as the grotesquification of female characters. And it's not just about physics and gooning. They make a concerted effort to make female characters more unattractive. They do it intentionally, repeatedly, and this is something that is noticeable. Now, this Cro-Magnon lumbering retard may want to deny it. But the fact of the matter is, Andy Pants Gaming called it. Oh yeah, I'll talk about all the reasons why there's so many remasters and remakes, but I won't talk about wokeness being a factor. He was right. He exposed you. He called you out. I mean, it's unreal. Is this really the audience that you cultivated? An audience of retards that can't even acknowledge what's right in front of them? By the way, this is just one example. I mean, there's so many examples with Laura Croft and all these different stories and character designs that have been just dehumanized. Oh, no, that's too feminine. Oh, she's too attractive. Oh, just... There's no argument at this point. you've lost. But the fact that you still stubbornly cling to this bullshit is just nonsense. It's absolute fucking nonsense. And yeah, Moist Critical has talked about stuff like this as well, believe it or not. Asmongold has talked about stuff like this. This has been gone over and over and over. This is not new.
Whenever studio...
Like, here it is. Here's the video that I was talking about from Asmongold. Gothic 1 versus Gothic remake. The women have been censored and uglified. Why did they do that? Why would you do that? Why would you make the women more ugly, more unattractive, more unappealing to both men and women, by the way? I know that people like the Ackman are genuinely too fucking retarded to understand this, but women don't want to play or envision themselves as ugly women. And here's the reality. The way that you know that I'm right about this is if you ever were to say to a random woman on the internet, hey, you look like this, they would block you. They absolutely would block you because they know that this is ugly. They don't want to be like this. This isn't aspirational for them. And for guys, this isn't aspirational. This is dog shit. This is a bunch of fat middle-aged retards, a bunch of progressive hags, a bunch of, you talk about swamp hags. These women that in a video game, they would be selling you mushrooms and potions. And these women are in gaming studios making things worse. And because they're fat and they're ugly and they're insecure, they go, well, that was a problematic element. We really need to change that. And that is the culture that has been adopted. And it has been absolute fucking poison. We need to get back to making games for men. Doesn't mean women can't enjoy them. In fact, the times when women enjoyed gaming the most was when it was predominantly for men. Because that's when the stories were the best. That's when, maybe the graphics weren't the best, but at the time they were good. But the gameplay, everything. World of Warcraft is the best example. Look at that. The further they've gone towards this sort of, we need to feminize World of Warcraft, the worse that it's gotten. To the point where Asmongold doesn't even touch World of Warcraft anymore at all, on screen or off screen, which is crazy because he was a WoW streamer. Looks like Dr. Disrespect was right in the end, because Dr. Disrespect, they had that monologue against Asmon about, eventually you're going to have to do away with World of Warcraft on Twitch. And I guess it finally came to pass. But how many more examples do we have to prove this? How many more stories of these do I have to come out? And yet, every time, it's like the Ackman, reboots his brain. It's like he's Frankenstein. It's like, what brain did you choose to put into the Ackman? Oh, Abby something. You put an abnormal brain and this, and this tall, lanky, retarded motherfucker. Like, holy shit. Like, this is embarrassing. Anyway. I'm not going to take too much more of your time with this, but it is something that I do want to cover. I do find this incredibly fascinating. There's so many elements to this. It's just, imagine lying and misrepresenting something that's so basic, so obvious to so many people, to try to pander to your mentally ill audience, or to yourself, or to your friends, because you're too much of a coward to be honest. Fuck you. I don't like any of these people in the content creator space as it relates to the Ackman, Mighty Keith, people like Angry Joe, people like those, they're no longer fit for purpose. And honestly, 2025 should be the year that we drop these people in the garbage bin of history and move on to better content creators that are at least going to be honest about the state of the gaming union. Anyway, brothers, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.